Hey.
Hey. Welcome to another edition of That Pot Podcast 305. We in the building. We got an amazing show for you. My name is Papa Keith, 1035 The Beat, justvoteperiod.com. We are a lifestyle advocacy voting crew. I'm trying to find a crew instead of organization. We have crew. And right over there is the beautiful Janae Tate, High Low News, South Florida's hyper local news. Also part of Team Just Vote Period as well. And welcome to our podcast.
Thank you, PK, for that warm welcome. As always, like I always said this, you're really good at the intros. You make me feel like I'm doing something like that.
We gotta set the tone.
And the tone is definitely set. We are in full swing of election season, and we've been having a lot of candidates come on and people come on. But today's interview, I'm real excited about it. Like, we got a big dog and we got a top dog in today.
We went on the top of the food chain for this one, huh?
We sure did. I think people gonna feel it. They gonna like it.
Well, listen, we want to encourage you to please subscribe, please like, please share. Of course, once this video gets rolling, you see who our guest is. We want you to get as many people involved with the process. We do this for you. We do this out of love. So the appreciation that we ask for now is for you to please share, please like, please spread the word amongst our community so we can educate them. We're bringing some really amazing guests here that are not easy to get. The time is like by the minute, and we're pulling them away to answer some questions, to talk to them about some things that concern you. So please, help us help you.
That part. Like and share. Hit that like button. You're watching it. Hit the like button on YouTube. That helps us in the algorithm. Like Papa Keith said, share it, comment, follow us on Instagram, That Part Podcast. And also to follow both of our platforms, High Low News and Just Vote Period on social media. That type of stuff helps us grow our audience and have more impact. But as always, we thank our third co-host, the audience, the people in the live chat. We always love y'all talking and sharing y'all comments and y'all views on what's going on. Our last episode, which was live, it was great. We're going to do more of that as well. And so it was good to be able to answer questions live for you guys in the moment, in real time. So y'all keep that energy going. The comment section be lit.
That part for real. All right, so you ready to get started?
Yes, let's read that bio so the people know who is on today.
All right, so she was elected Miami-Dade County's first ever woman mayor in November of 2020. She enters the mayor's office following a 40-year career as a relentless advocate for South Florida's families. As mayor, she oversees a metropolitan government of nearly 30,000 employees, serves nearly 3 million residents, and manages an annual budget of $12 billion.
Wow.
All right. This amazing lady's administration is focused on building a stronger, more prosperous, more resilient Miami-Dade. She protects lives and livelihoods by developing a people-focused coronavirus pandemic response. She's prioritizing reforms to keep the county safe and free from gun violence through the Peace and Prosperity Plan, reinvigorating a thriving economy that delivers economic security and welcomes new investment, tackling the housing crisis by protecting tenants and buildings, more affordable housing, preserving the environment, including Biscayne Bay and the Everglades, for more generations to come, connecting every corner of Miami-Dade with efficient and reliable public transportation, directly engaging with residents to make county government more transparent and accountable. She was a social worker, a lawyer, community activist. She was first elected in 2014, re-elected in August of 2018 to serve as Miami-Dade's county commissioner, representing District 8. Previously served vulnerable children, families, and immigrants as legal services of Greater Miami and Guardian ad litem program. In 1996, she founded the Catalyst Miami to help low and middle income families through service, education, and advocacy, which she ran for nearly 2 decades with her husband, Robert, a Miami native, practicing physician, Robert is. She's proud to have raised 2 children right here in Miami-Dade. Ladies and gentlemen, the Miami-Dade County Mayor, Daniella Levine Cava.
Hey.
It's always great to be with you, Papa Keith.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an honor and a pleasure. I know it's a busy time for you running the county. I know also trying to make sure people know that you need to stay a little longer with the county as well. It's a busy time for you, so we really appreciate it.
It's great. Great to be with you. You really make people feel good, and you take care of them too.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Janae, are you ready to get started?
Yes, I am ready to get started. Welcome, Mayor Cava, to the That Part podcast. We're so excited to have you on. And we could jump right into it. And my question for you is, you made history as the first woman mayor of Miami-Dade County. Why is that important? What does that mean for you?
Little girls everywhere know that they can do it too. And when I was a little girl, there was no WNBA. There were no women in positions of high elected office. Very, very rare to have women heading up major companies, etc. So we've come a long way. We've broken a lot of glass ceilings, but this one remained to be broken when I came on the scene 3.5 years ago. And I just think that people look for people like them to feel like they can be somebody or do something. And we need to make sure people know that what might look impossible is truly possible. And they can break through all kinds of glass ceilings.
That part. All right.
That part.
So public transportation is the hallmark of big municipalities like New York and Chicago. What steps are you taking to improve that here in Miami-Dade County?
Completely agree. World-class cities need world-class transit. And traffic is getting worse. We cannot build out more roads here. We are limited in our space between the ocean and the Everglades and the neighboring counties. So we have to have more public transit that gets people where they want to go faster, more reliably. And we have revised our public transit system after 40 years. There are some kinks to be worked out, but we've been adding back service where people have felt stranded. We're realigning the routes. It's called the Better Bus Network. And at the end of the day, the riders are voting with their feet because our transit ridership is up about 9%, which is quite unusual across the country. Most places have not recovered their transit riders post-pandemic. But we have, and we're growing, and we're adding more lines that are more accessible to the jobs and the places people want to go, more frequent. Also on the weekends, we've had to add service. That was a really good thing. And all kinds of express buses and the bus rapid transit in the South. We've got the Northeast corridor. Looks like it's going to be funded by the state and the federal government. And we're finishing up studies that are needed for the North corridor, finally, on 27th Avenue and up to Hard Rock.
Well, listen, kudos on that. And I also want to chime in. I see what you're doing at the airport as well. So
yes,
to add that as well,
Right. That is our number one economic engine in the county, the airport. And it has been growing by leaps and bounds. We're the fastest growing airport in the country, 10% growth. Wow. And so a lot of wear and tear. And there was not much attention to maintaining it. Like everything in life, you got to take care of it. You got to maintain it. Those elevators, escalators, and moving sidewalks, they're 50 plus years old. Their normal life is, say, 25, 30 max. And so they need constant repairs, and they weren't replaced. So we doubled down. We've got $9 billion. This is like in the history of, certainly this airport, $9 billion for capital improvements and increased maintenance. And it is working. It's not super fast, but it's faster than it had been because nothing was happening. And we really made sure to get companies that would work around the clock. And we are seeing good progress.
Awesome.
And Mayor, I have a follow-up question to the transportation question PK asked. I wanted to know from you, can you explain to our audience, because we have a lot of millennials and Gen Zers, and people just may not be in the know of how like city or county governments work. So can you tell them what goes into place to building transportation? Because a lot of people are just frustrated and they're like, we want this, why isn't it here? So can you let them know what goes into the process of funding transportation and that process that it takes?
You know, the word just is very misleading because it is very complicated. And when I was first running for office in 2014 to be county commissioner, I did a deep dive and got my PhD in transportation finance.
Oh, wow.
Complicated. So you've got a county government, almost 3 million people in the county. I'm the county mayor. And we have a budget for public transit, and we do run the majority of transit. We also have a half penny that was approved by the voters. Should have been a full penny, but at the time, it didn't look like it would pass as a full penny, so they cut it to a half. And that half penny funds about half of the things that were promised because it's only half. So now you have a whole bunch of people that voted to agree to a tax of the half penny, and they're not seeing what they thought they were going to get, like the extension of the Metro Rail. This all predates me. Of course, I voted for it because I wanted transit like so many. Then you've got cities. Now, cities, there's 34 of them, and they got a cut of that half penny, right? That got them on board to help pass it, and they can devise their own little circulators, they're called, and many cities are doing things with the circulators, but when they were given that money, they weren't told they had to coordinate with the county, with the big system. So now we're making up for lost time, and we're saying to City of Miami or Coral Gables, like, you've got these nice little circulators, make sure that people can transfer clearly from one to the other. And let's not have duplicative routes on Miami Beach. You've got a really good circulator system. A lot of people use it. It was overlapping with the county. We're trying to maximize the use of county dollars to go places more frequently. That's how people will get on it. If it comes every 15 minutes instead of every 30 minutes or hour, right? If you can rely on it, then you're going to use it. So we've done a lot of things to try to improve relations with the city circulators to increase, of course, what we are spending on the buildup of the new lines, which that's the half penny that pays for those new lines, plus federal and state money. We're talking billions of dollars, right? This is complicated. So I guess I would have to say we grew up very fast as a community. We were kind of a more suburban little place, and then suddenly we're meteoric rise. And fortunately, a lot of the newcomers and the young people, they're ready to use transit because people have said, oh, it's a car culture. Nobody will get out of their cars. Well, first of all, a lot of people don't have cars. So they're relying on that transit. Then the people that do have a choice, transit has to be better. So, for example, we've got these express buses that come on 836. They come from the Dolphin Park and Ride and from west of FIU. You can save 20 minutes on that, not sitting in traffic. You could be comfortable using your internet. And it is popular, so much so that we've had to add service to those lines. So we're trying a lot of things, and it's a slow go. So we know people are frustrated. The other thing we're doing is building along those transit corridors. So if you, especially you see on US 1, all those big buildings coming along, they can be built without parking spaces, fewer parking spaces, because people can rely on transit. And those are very popular. And we have affordable and workforce units in many of those buildings. So people are running to them, and we are building densely along the corridors to also provide ridership. Because to get federal money, we need to prove that people are riding. So it's kind of a catch-22. We have to know that people are using it before they will prioritize us with limited federal dollars.
Makes sense.
PhD, right?
Yes. Thank you for answering that question, Mayor Cava, and explaining that. And just to switch gears a little bit, I wanted to talk about affordable housing. Miami is viewed as one of the least affordable places to live. How are you currently managing the housing crisis in Miami-Dade County? And what do you plan to do if reelected for a second term regarding this subject area?
Well, thank you, Janae. I have to say that housing is our number one problem, in my opinion, because the cost of housing has risen so dramatically. And while salaries have gone up, they have not kept pace. We're at New York City prices without New York City salaries. And so we have people who have already left town. They cannot afford to live here. We have more people homeless, more people doubling up, getting evicted. It's really a tragedy. So I declared a crisis in April of 2022, and we have been moving heaven and earth. We prevented 27,000 evictions. We have 32,000 units of workforce and affordable housing in the pipeline between county and other funding sources. We have been supporting people to relocate where needed, an eviction diversion program ongoing, and we're even providing money to landlords to fix up their smaller apartment buildings and to guarantee affordable rates for the next 30 years. We give them grants to renovate. For people in condominium associations where they might have to pay a big fee for the, they've been inspected now and they have to improve the facilities. So the condo special assessments, we're giving, it's a loan, but it's zero interest for 40 years, up to $50,000 per residence. So it's very significant that the range of things, also drawing down a lot of federal money for major redevelopments. Like we just got a $40 million grant from HUD to revitalize a project in Overtown, Culmer. We, a few months before that, we got another $40 million from HUD to revitalize a project in Goulds. So we've been extremely aggressive to do everything we can. And we have been able to see a price stabilization in the rents. So it went up, some places even doubled and so on, but the rents are stabilizing. And I think, especially when the interest rates come down, God willing, then you'll see some housing purchases that will be not going up at least as much. So we know we're the most extremely housing burdened place in the country when you look at the cost of housing and related transportation expenses. That means people spending more than half of their income on those things, which is really not sustainable and means they're not taking care of other essentials.
Thank you so much for answering that. Listen, your legacy is what I want to talk about next. I know that you entered becoming a mayor with a lot of tragedies and things that were happening. It wasn't exactly timely. But, when everything is said and done for you, what would you like your legacy to be here, the work that you've done in Miami-Dade County?
Well, I've only been mayor for less than 4 years. God willing, I'll have 4 more. But I will say this. I am all about customer service. I'm about a government that people can trust, that provides for the things that they want and need, and that they can believe is doing right by them. So we've had the most participation in the history of Miami-Dade through our Thrive 305 initiative and our regular budget meetings and all major decisions. So we try to really engage. So I hope that we'll be changing how government interacts with people, and that we're not just being responsible stewards, transparent about how we do things, responsive to concerns that are raised, but also that we are innovative, that people look to us to be preparing them for the future, because we have to work together to do that. People need to trust that government is going to be able to handle these new challenges that face us. We didn't expect a building to fall down for sure, but we do know that we have a lot of buildings that are aging and need to be shored up. We know that we have more flooding coming our way, extreme weather. We know we have to change our septic systems to clean sewer as the sea level rises. So we know that safety right now, we are quite safe as a community, and we need to keep it that way. So many challenges that we have for our economy and our environment. And my other 2 E's, because I have my 4 E's, economy, environment, equity, and engagement. So I hope that I will be able to move the needle and make sure that we do all of this recovery in an equitable way, that where the rising tides will lift all boats, and that we do it through more active engagement and participation of our public with government.
Sounds like you need a little bit more time to do that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Cava, for that. And I had a quick follow-up questions because you mentioned equity, and I, would be remiss. We have a really large Black population who listen to our platform. I wanted to know, can you speak to what the county is currently doing in business with Black-owned business, and what are your plans to increase that to have more of an equitable representation for Black-owned businesses here in the county?
Yes, thanks so much, Janelle. So we know that some communities have been left behind. We're going to make up for past wrongs. And that is why I created the Office of Equity and Engagement in my administration. Also, our small business program, Strive 305, that has already helped 15,000 small businesses for marketing and access to capital and all the technical things that go into, and just support, just plain support. So we're very excited that we're able to do that. We also have Black Business Month in August every year that we help to animate together with MD, Miami-Dade Economic Advocacy Trust. We've been preempted by some of the things we want to do by the state legislature, and we're finding ways to continue to support our small and minority businesses. Nonetheless, we have BizUp, which is a grant program for small businesses. We have the Rise Fund for loans to small businesses. It's a revolving fund. And I will say this, by court decree, we are not allowed to be specifically race or gender conscious in what we do. So nonetheless, we know that certain communities are being left behind. So we've come up with a number of ways that we make sure that our Black-owned businesses and entrepreneurs and aspiring young people can get full access to these programs. And we have something called purpose-driven procurement that actually gives points for employing people with better work conditions, that incentivizes different things. Although we can't require, we can reward, if you will. So I am extremely active in getting out the word in the Black community and our media outreach, which, we've spoken about recently. We know that our media outlets, just like you said, are tailoring to certain populations. So if we want those populations to know what we're doing or to get involved or give input, we have to work through those targeted media outlets. So that is critically important for us to be effective in our work and to build trust, which at the end of the day is really the main goal.
No, I appreciate that. And just to even give you your shout out in regards, we were talking about a meeting, you're referring to a meeting that we had with the Black-owned Media Alliance. And just for our audience to know, like, you were committed to doing business with Black-owned media. And like you said, you can't specifically do it under law, but like there's different things in place that you can do within your power. And you've actually put your money, you're like, you committed to it in the sense of like, hey, I'm not just saying this, I'm actually doing this. So people wouldn't even know about that meeting that you took and said, hey, so I'm glad that you brought it up. But I feel like people should know those type of things. It's not like you see you in the community, but you're like, hey, you can meet with me one-on-one. Let's talk about what this can look like. So I definitely wanted to give that insight.
Thank you. And just to say again that we need to steer business your way, because that's how we reach out to that community that we want to serve. And so we have been very deliberate about that. And also not just in my office, but all the departments that are trying to get the word out. And I would say it's working. And I will add this. If you look at my staff that I've hired, my senior staff, we're the most diverse in the history of this county. And both when it comes to people of color, but also women. I've got an awesome set of women leaders in my administration.
Well, those on that for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to do it, Janae, or me.
I think you should. I think you should, PK.
We want to get to a bit of a rumor and give you an opportunity to shed some light on it. You've been doing such an amazing job as a mayor. I'm saying that because that's from my experience and that's how I see it. You're running for re-election right now. So I know this is not quite your focus, but is there a chance that we may see in the future Mayor Daniella become Governor Daniella?
All right, yeah, you sprung that on me. You know, I am very focused on my 4 years coming up as mayor. I am really dedicated to carrying forward what we've started. And I do not have any plans to stray from that course. So, you never, as they say, you never say never, but that is not where I'm going. I am going to lead this county. I love this place. I believe that I have made a difference, that we have made a difference. And I'm in it for the long haul.
That's what's up. Well, thank you for being so kind and answering that. And just understand it comes from a good place, because clearly a lot of people see you as such an amazing leader that you can go as far as you like. Just so you know.
I mean, the people are saying they want you to do it, Mayor. They like you.
Very grateful for the support that I have earned. And that is necessary to do some tough stuff. We got some things we have to do here, and we have to do it together. Thank you.
Well, in case you change your mind, we'll be right here. And you come back on the show.
All right. Thank you.
Mayor Cava, thank you for being so graceful with your time.
Well, Mayor Cava, before you go, let the people know why they should give you their vote in August and for the upcoming election. We want to give you that chance, and also tell them how they can follow you.
Well, let me say, all the things we've been talking about, they're all things that I have touched as mayor. So if any of those things are important to you, then it's important who is your mayor. So I would say get out there and vote, because some other mayor might do it some other way. Okay. So this is who I am and what I am committed to and dedicated to. And it's after a lifetime of doing this work, making sure that there's opportunity, making sure that people have their basic needs met, making sure that the growing economy affects everybody, that everybody can get their fair share, and doing it inside government and doing it in the broader community, taking care of our health and our safety and our environment. That's our water, folks. Okay. That's what the air we breathe and the water we drink. So if those are things that matter to you, I would say local government is the ticket, and you need someone who's going to take care of business. So thank you for hearing me out. August 20th is the last day to vote. Okay, so let's not wait till August 20th unless we have a certain sentimental appeal to go in on August 20th. Okay, there will not likely be lines at the polls, because unfortunately, a lot of people are not hearing this message and they're not going out to vote. But it is really important. You can vote by mail. It's not too late even to request that. But by the way, a lot of people think just because they voted by mail before that they're automatically getting a ballot, and that's not true, because they tried to make it harder for people to vote. So you have to ask for it again, but you can go online and request it, or you can, go to trusted source. You can call 311. We'll help lead you through it. And then there's early voting that starts August 5th. So I would say people get out and vote, and friends, don't let friends not vote. All right.
Just vote, period.
Just vote,
period.
That's it.
There you go. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Thank you. We did that, JT.
Yo, that was good. That was good. Thank you, PK, for pulling the strings, because I don't know Mayor Cava like that. So thank you for getting that interview.
It don't even make sense we doing that, because we equally bomb. You know what I'm saying? Because you've gotten the majority of our guests, which are also heavy hitters. But yes, I do have a little special relationship with our mayor, Daniella Levine Cava. So it's a pleasure having her on the show. Again, man, we hope y'all appreciate this. You know what I mean? And I'm saying this in true fashion. Janae and I could literally go to that woman's office, sit down in her office at a table, have a cup of tea, and have this conversation that we just had with her for ourselves. But no, we're doing it on this platform for you, so that way you may not have the access or the opportunity. And then, Janae puts together some questions that are kind of tailored to you, and when you hit them with the well, what you doing for Black businesses though? You know what I mean? I was like, Okay, you know what I mean? So those are the things you're not going to hear if you just watch her on the news or certain things, you know what I mean? So this is why That Part Podcast 305 is so important. This is why what we're doing is so important. This is why we have dedicated our time and lives to this, JT.
No, definitely. And even her bringing up the meeting that we had, because I wasn't even going to bring it up just to kind of like keep it separate in the sense where I didn't want to like make it feel like I'm like throwing it back in her face or anything, or make her feel like, oh yeah, like you did this. But the fact that she took the time to meet with the Black-owned Media Alliance and was like, hey, what's some strategies? What can we do to increase business with Black-owned media? And like she said, we can't legally do it, but she's like, there are programs and there are initiatives in place that we can do to work within that confine. You know, but she's like, she identified that it was important to reach our community. And even her coming on our podcast and taking the time to speak to our audience, like that shows a lot. So
it does.
Regardless of who you want to vote for, we're not telling you who, but she's telling you these are things I'm doing. And that was something that was a private meeting that she didn't even have to bring up for me, but it was like, yo, like, yeah, she actually is out here in these streets, like doing the work.
Right. And listen, by no means, you know, we don't sip Kool-Aid. All right. So, you know, I've worked with Mayor Cava in the past, you know, on initiatives like, you know, People Manifest and different pop-ups and back to school events and stuff like that. But how we operate in that space is that's your civic duty. You know, we're teaming up with you to do civic duty. That doesn't mean I have to like you, or that doesn't mean that you're perfect. And in no way are any of these politicians and people we speak to perfect by any means. You know what I mean? But I think, you know, Janae's had this conversation with me offline. I think we just have to do a better job as our people, Black and brown people specifically, of knowing what our ask is and following up on that ask and making sure that it's being respected, you know? And so to keep it real, she's busy because she's trying to run for re-election. She still has a job as mayor. This was probably the most horrible time with her election coming up in less than a month from today, or about a month from today. Her election is, you know, but, you know, it wasn't easy and we pressed, but, you know, she recognized, you know, like, yeah, I have to take the time, or I shouldn't say have to, I should take the time to, you know, talk to Janae and Papa Keith and their audience, you know, about what's important to them. So I respect those things because, you know, like, you know, if you've taken the time to do those things, it says a lot because there's a lot of people who are just not.
Yeah, and definitely. And even back when she was running for mayor in 2020, like she took the time to come on Hilo News and the fact that she saw some value. Yeah, like to me, like you said, I understand what it means to run for a county-wide seat in the amount of time. And so not for us to be like, oh, we're just like, we're in love with Mayor Cava. Like she's cool. Like in that regard, like, or look at the things that she's prioritizing and let that allow you to help you make your decision. Again, like we're saying, we're not pushing you to vote either way. We're just telling you these are our personal experiences. These are things that we've seen her do as proof of the work that she's doing in the community, and you could take that how you want to. But our producer Tammy already told us what it is for her. She said it was 4 more years. So, and I feel her on that.
That's what's up. So, listen, man, it was a really good opportunity. This show was a little bit shorter than normally because we did have a limited time with the mayor. She was graceful with her time, but we wanted to be in respect of, like I said, everything that she has going on and the time of the year that we're asking for this. So we only asked for 30 minutes. So, normally, we have other guests in here for a lot longer, and we've been actually, each episode has been getting longer and longer and longer, right? So this one is going to be a little bit shorter, but I just hope it's impactful. I'm hoping that you got what you needed to get out of it. And we got another firecracker coming after this.
Yes,
this might be the one, though, man.
Oh, I cannot wait for this next guest. Like, y'all are in for a treat.
I know, y'all definitely in for a treat. We got a straight firecracker, but I think his story is amazing. Just to give you a little hint, but I'm not going to tell you who it is, but his story is really good. So I can't wait to have him tell his story. And again, please, we're gonna, ask you to spread the word, to subscribe, to tell others. We have a lot of elected officials that actually watch this podcast, That Part Podcast 305. A lot of former elected officials, a lot of movers and shakers, and we appreciate y'all too. We see y'all. Most of y'all hit me up and Janae up in our text and let us know y'all saw it, and we do appreciate that. That means a lot to us on a real level. But we know there's a lot of people watching who ain't saying nothing either, and that's fine too. You know what I'm saying?
I see the views on YouTube. I see the views, and I'm like, okay, like they've been consistently growing. We're small but mighty, but to me, that's like a sign that we're on to something good.
Absolutely. And just to give it a further understanding, because I want to just try to explain this more and more, Janae, so that people are not confused. We are doing this in series. So we have one more show, the last show before we end series 1. We will take a hiatus and we'll be back September 11th, right?
September 11th.
For season or series 2 of That Part Podcast 305. Part of the process is we wanted to develop some new things for series 2 that are going to be completely different from series 1. So don't expect anything to repeat itself in series 1. That's going to happen in series 2. So it's going to take us time to put that stuff together, to plan it, to figure it out, to pay for it on our own, all these different things, right? So as we, do those preparations, what we do encourage people is, because we are in the Netflix era, we are in the binge watching era. So for those who are new to the podcast, or maybe just, learning about the podcast, whether it's this show or our last show or during our hiatus, you have 8 shows to be able to watch, once we do our final show, and you can enjoy that and binge that how you like as we set up for an epic second series.
Yes. Y'all, I cannot wait for y'all to see season 2. Like, we have some really good things in the fire. And like Papa Keith said, this is a labor of love. We invest our own time and money into this because it's just that important for us to inform our community about what's going on civically, election-wise, and government-wise. And so we're breaking it down, asking people questions that you would like to ask, and getting information to you in a way that you can digest, because you're probably not watching CNN or Channel 7 or whatever. But you still need to be informed. And so we wanted to make sure we're an outlet for that. And so make sure you guys are following us on Instagram and YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the content. That's how you help us grow and continue to have an impact in our community. And so we're thankful for you guys, all our loyal followers who've been watching and listening with us so far. We really appreciate you guys, and we're thankful that you guys are helping us spread the word.
Yes, put our stuff down there real quick.
Okay.
Because I have a public service announcement to make.
Okay.
Yeah. So you see Papa Keith, or Papa_Keith on Instagram, at Just Vote, period. All right. Then you see at Hilo News, and you see at Janae Tate. Follow all 4 of those. I also want to encourage people. I've been noticing, Janae, I don't know if it has to do with the podcast or not, because we kind of been doing this, but I see the uptick. And as we're going into this season, we're being requested to do a lot of town halls and
candidate forums and
forums and hostings and stuff like that. We are available to do those. You can DM us on any one of those platforms. So even if you want to ask me about Janae because you're shy
or vice versa, because they do that with me too. You connect me with Papa Keith.
Yeah, you can hit me about Janae, or her availability, because we talk every day. We work very closely together on many different things. High, low, Just Vote, period, and this little background. Janae was very instrumental on your boy Papa Keith being woke and getting to this point. Of just being involved with democracy and civic duties and things of those natures. She literally held my hand and walked me through the fire. I had no clue. I was green as hell, didn't know what a commissioner was, didn't know where none of these offices were. And she literally took the time and walked me through that, and helped to develop the passion that burns inside of me now to be able to do this on this level. So, that's where we coming from. And, because a lot of people don't understand, so it's better to hear it from us.
Yeah.
It's better to hear from us of how we connected and what it's really about. You know what I'm saying?
No, I appreciate that. And you definitely taught me a lot, and from the work and the leadership positions that you put me in, from People Matter Fest and now Just Vote Period, and just rooms and positioning. People don't understand, like sometimes someone who has a bigger platform, just giving you a certain look or position validates and allows you to get a lot of opportunities. And so trust me, it's not lost on me, and I'm so grateful. And the fact that you think that I've done so much, what?
And you taught me that too.
Yeah,
but that's what real friends do, right? Like, I appreciate that. Like, honestly, because I was doing some event and I posted CBS. I was all excited, and the CBS covered it, and she was like, hello, we've been posting, and sometimes we do that, right? As human beings, the people closest to us, we kind of shit on them, or we forget about them, and we get excited when, the white man show us love, or this or that or the other. And, we human, and I just love the fact that I was able to understand where she came from, also was a victim of it. So was able to connect even my own cries of the same sort, and then be able to move forward is so much better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's really key, right?
Yeah.
So you taught me that. Oh, you giving me shit. You ain't giving me credit for shit you taught me.
But that's outside of social media. I'm talking about even meetings where how you'll position me with Just Vote Period or People Matter Fest, where it's like, no, Janae's a lead organizer. Go through Janae, like that type of leadership to people, like it means something, that cosign. So, that's very, very valuable. And I'm grateful that you never feel like it has to be always about me, especially when we're in these private meetings with these very powerful people. Like you bringing me to a meeting with Mayor Jimenez, like as much as I've been a reporter and covering, Miami-Dade County, I never connected with him in that way. And even Mayor Cava, like, had never really connected with her in that way individually. So my work with you allowed me to be able to have some of these conversations too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not lost on me either. And I'm grateful as well.
A funny lesson in that maybe people could take away is that really came from my love for my mom. Because, in her days, the women weren't really respected, And I always vowed to respect women like how I wanted my mom to be respected. So if you notice, in my organizations, all beautiful women, at least in leadership positions. And I don't seek it that way. It just happens that way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it's yourself, Annie, this, all smart, A personality, strong, and beautiful women. And I want people to respect that. Not because Janae is beautiful to look at, and that, she has so much to offer and deliver. If you're able to put that to the side and really tap in with her, you get so much more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's also a way of showing, because you don't think a lot of people and friends would always come to me and be like that. And I was like, nah, like they're dope. They're like dope. They get things like women get shit done. Men want to take your place. They want to date who you dating while you dating them. They want to they want to take over.
Yeah.
And they just, they what I'm saying? It's just different. Women, when they get involved with something or, they just put in the work. And when working, at least with me or as a man, there is no ego. You know what I mean? So I have an appreciation for that. But anyway,
we got a dope female Black woman producer, another woman I'm bringing into the fold, the PK universe.
Yes, big shout out to Tamila.
Thank you, Tammy.
We appreciate you and all your hard work.
Yes, and I was thinking that I'm like, when I thought about the team of women, I'm like, yeah, we just added more women and from Jasmine, like you said, Annie, Jess, Legs, Tiff, Boom, all the amazing Black women and women of color that you have working with you. And like I said, those the women, if I'm in the foxhole, I want every single one of them in the foxhole with me.
I'm telling you, they're amazing. So on that note, JT, this has been great. Everybody knows you should already be subscribed. You should already be sharing. We appreciate you. We can't wait for our final show of the first series next week. Tune in every Wednesday. Well, tune in next Wednesday. Then we go on hiatus. Please, you could continue to share it and have people binge watch it while we're on hiatus. And we'll be back, of course, September 11th for series 2.
Yes. And thank you again to Mayor Cava for coming on the show, sharing your journey and your message with our audience and breaking things down for them so they can understand your role as Mayor Cava of Miami-Dade County and, you know, why they should vote for you again. So we appreciate you for coming on, not being afraid of the hot seat. You know, I like it.
Big shout out to Melanie.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mel. What's up, Melanie?
Melanie Burke, big up yourself, man. Awesome. Yes. She works with the mayor's office. She also was instrumental in making sure that interview happened. And she's been a friend and, you know, and a supporter of the movement ever since we met. So I do have a big appreciation for Melanie.
No, definitely. And her entire team, because it's a lot of them. Jenny,
yes.
I can't remember everybody's name for the emails. But it's the whole team, y'all. Don't ever think they over there doing that by themselves. It's a whole
I got to give Melanie a little extra.
Well, you know, she our girl from way back.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right, JT, I legitimately